Hi everyone, we're going to go through a quick overview of the answers to 11.6 for math today. Read and write decimals, page 317 and 318. We already did numbers 1 through 13 together. Number 1, we have the fraction and then the decimal with the whole number. So every time we have a whole number, that goes to the left of the decimal. So I'm going to just leave this on here for a moment. If you need to pause, you can find the answers here. The orange is my corrections and my notifications for my noting for who is doing that problem. So that's their class numbers. And sometimes I wrote the answers in for them. Okay, so one thing I would like to note here is when we have a decimal and a zero and a number, that number is going to go over 100 because that means 2 place values from the right of the decimal. Okay, so if you notice that here, I will go ahead and underline that here. Sorry. So I will underline this in a pink. So here becomes that. Okay. And also same thing here. They equal each other. Same thing here. That equals that. Okay, so the 4 over 100 equals 4 hundredths. The 2 over 100 equals 2 hundredths. The 7 over 100 equals 7 hundredths. Okay, and up here, yeah, we don't have any more of those. So just a single digit over 100. Okay, so I'm going to show that to you. Sorry. Next, I'm going to show you the rest of the worksheet, the work page. So we're going to switch here to a different page. So we are going to go ahead and start at number 14. It says read and write decimals. Okay, so we're starting at number 14 on this page. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and write the answers down for you. I will use my pink. Okay, so what we're doing for number 14 through 19, it says write the decimal. Remember the word and represents the decimal point. So and, I'm going to underline the and. This means decimal. Okay, so all of those mean, so the word and equals the decimal point. Okay, now I'm going to go through with my purple and I'm going to underline how many place values should be shown after the decimal. Okay, so already we see, there we go, we see a few tenths, a couple tenths, and most of them are hundredths. So that means this should have 2 place values to the right of the decimal. So let's see what they look like. Okay, so we're going to use a happy color green. Okay, so 1 is my whole number and 8 tenths. So that means I have 1 place value. Okay, so and the number is 8. So remember the tenths just means how many place values. There we go. This one says 61, that's my whole number, and write the decimal, 14 hundredths. So that the hundredths means there's 2 place values, and I have a 14, and that fills up both of them. So there we go. 93 is our whole number, and means write the decimal, 2 hundredths. So now it's where it gets tricky. We have 2 place values because it says hundredths, but we only have a 2. So if I put that 2 here, that means 20. So we don't want to put that there. We put a 0 as a placeholder to make sure that stays a 2 over 100, or hundredths. Okay? So that one's really important to remember. We have 247, so we know how to write 247. And, go ahead and write the decimal, 5 tenths. Tenths means there's 1 place value, and it says 5 in that place value, so it's good. 509. 509. So make sure you're not writing 590. 509. Okay, it's not 590. And 88 hundredths. Okay, 88 hundredths. Alrighty. All right, I think we're recording again. Okay, so now number 19. We have 134, so you guys know how to write the whole numbers. 134. It says and, so that means my decimal, and 79 hundredths. So we know we have two place values, and 79 fills up both of them. Easy peasy. Okay, you can underline all the ands to help you remember what side is which side is the whole numbers, which is this left side of the decimal is whole numbers, and the right side is the decimals. Okay, so where you have tenths or hundredths. All right, on to 20 through 28. Here it says write the mixed number for each decimal. So it gives us the decimal. We are writing the fraction. Okay, I'm going to change the color. All right, so if it gives you a whole number, which most of these do, then you write the whole number first, okay? If it has one place value after the decimal, then it's over 10, okay? And then whatever is in that place value goes on my numerator. So 38 1/10, okay? So number 2, we have 1 as a whole number, and then we have 2 place values after the decimal. So we are going to write 100 as our denominator. And then we have a 0, 1 as my numerator. You have a choice. You can write 0, 1, or you can just write 1. Okay? All right, next one. We have 2 and 36 hundredths. So even if you say it, that helps you know how to write it. So we have 2 as a whole number. We have 2 place values, so that's over 100, okay? And 36 goes in our numerator, okay? So there we go. Number 23, we have 216 as our whole number in big numbers. And then we have 47 hundredths. So we know that there's 2 place values, so our denominator should be 100. So the only options for your denominators, is 10, okay, or 100. That's the only option, okay? The 10 means it's the place right here after your decimal, or whatever you have in front of your decimal. And then our hundredths means there's 2 place values, okay? Alrighty. So we have a 47 that goes in our numerator, the 47 in that place value, okay? So number 24, we have 25 as our whole number, and then we have 1 place value. So if it's 1 place value, we put 10 in our denominator, and then whatever's in that place value, we put on the top as our numerator. All right, let's continue. We have 4 left. 612 is our whole number. We have 1 place value, so we have a 10 on our denominator, and then what is in our place value is 5, so it's 5/10. So 612 and 5/10. So remember, whenever we get to this decimal, we say and. And whenever we get to our fraction, we say and. Okay, so this one reads 15 9/100ths because we have 2 place values, and that helps us write it. So we have 15 9/100ths. Okay, because we have 2 place values. Number 27, 58 22/100ths. So 58 22/100ths. And our last one is 108, or 108. We don't have to say the and, because and means the decimal. So 108 and 2, we have 2 spots there. So that means we have a 100 in our denominator and 2 on the top. So this would read 108 and 200ths. Same here, 108 and 200ths. Okay, so remember, 2 place values to the right of the decimal gives me a 100 on our denominator. 1 place value to the right of my decimal gives me a 10 in my denominator. Alrighty, so good practice. Please learn it as best you can. Ask me if you have any questions, and good job.